All right, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my main man from the East Coast, the one and only, Dr. Dre. What's up with you, Dr. Dre? One and only. Nah, I can't do you. I can't do you like that. I can't put that on you. Well, that's a good question, man. Who is one of the oldest pioneers in hip hop? Do you know? Fuck you. You know, uh, okay. I, last time I saw a number on Africa Bombada. Bombada was actually like a year younger than me. I think Herc was supposed to be like 69 to 70. That's what I saw. Last time I saw something on Herc. Does Herc do interviews, man? I've never seen an interview on Herc in my life. I have never seen an interview on Cool Herc. I reached out for him once before. I wanted to interview him on the show just to put the father of hip hop and the Godfather from the West Coast on the same thing. I never got a response back from him. I think his sister or somebody was handling this social media or whatever. Yeah. Uh, on the right. Okay. I think Bambaataa is younger than Herc. Yeah, Herc is like the pinnacle of senior citizens around here when it comes to hip hop. Right. I'm older. I'm looking at our my man Rye R. No, I'm older than Flash. Flash is just barely 57, ain't like 56, 57, something like that. Okay. Okay. Maybe he might be 60. You're right. He might be 60. Okay. Me and Russell the same thing. I'm thinking I might be a year older than Russell Simmons. So Flavor was older than Chuck D. That I do know. Yeah. With a brand new baby. Okay. So we was talking about that the other day here on the West Coast. And as it stands right now, I am the grandpa. Ice T is right by. I'm the grandpa of this shit right here on the West Coast. Ice T is right behind me. I think I'm a year older than Ice T, and Ice T just turned 64. I'll be 65. Ice T, Ice is 64. Ice is a year behind. He was born in 50. No, Ice was born in 58. I was born in 57. Okay. Tell you how. Let's Google it, somebody. I, how old is Ice T? Let's see what they say on Google. Old is Ice T. I'm gonna put down this that T. They got a whole another. Night train. Okay. Yeah, folks, we just uh is okay. Here he is. He's 64. He's born in 58. He's a year behind me. Yep, he's a year behind me. So yeah. Um yeah. So yeah, though, folks, we figured if Ice-T is a year behind me, we the top two here on the West Coast. Ain't nobody in the game more than two of us. Bernadette. Oh hell no. Hell no. Hold on there. Yo, Bernadette, I sent you a new link, baby. Check your email. I sent you a new link. Huh? You see it? Bernadette is looking for her a new link on Facebook. Well, me and Dre are already on. Trying to figure out. I'll see you in a minute. I kicked myself out. There you go. Wait a minute. How did I get off the screen? I was on the screen a minute ago through the camera. All of a sudden, I ain't hit Bernadette. Hang up. I ain't hit no more. Let me try some. Fuck you. There you go that bullshit. See? There you go that bullshit. I ain't hit shit. That's the bad part about it. I didn't do nothing. I'm sitting here talking to Bernadette, and next thing I know, all I got is a green screen now, but it's all right, you know. Go to green screen. Well, now I got the black screen with no picture. Boy.
Well, let me ask you a quick question.
Go for it.
Are Dre and I the same age?
How old are you?
I'm 58.
Okay, Dre's 57.
Then I'm a year older than
him. Yeah. Dre's 57.
Oh, okay.
I'm exactly 8 years older than Dre.
Okay. And there it is.
Yeah.
I thought we were the exact same age.
No, not quite. Nope. He got you by a year. When your birthday?
Mine's 63.
Dre's is 60.
12-5.
Dre's 65.
He's 64.
Dre's born in 65.
He's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
He's 2 years younger than me.
He's born in 65. Oh shit.
Now I'm feeling old. now you just made me feel old.
When I was talking, Divine Connector joined.
Numbers around here right now.
Hello.
I see you. I hear you.
There she goes.
I see you and I hear you.
And where are you?
I was until you hung up. Call. I was right here on the screen, and for some reason I disappeared. My screen is here.
We're using technical difficulties as the excuse.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about who's older.
Yeah, we talking. Gonna tell me how old I am. Anyway, it is what it is. That's for damn sure. Okay, that ain't gonna work like that. Anyway, y'all, let's go start the conversation. We're gonna have an audio, if nothing else. So we're gonna keep on talking about what we was gonna be talking about anyway.
And First and foremost,
go for it.
I gotta congratulate you for the graduation of your daughter.
And second and foremost, I have to do the same to you. Congratulations to you, proud papa.
Thank you. Definitely the proud father.
Congratulations to the grads and dads.
Thank you so much.
Dads and grads. There you go.
Is that, you know what's interesting, Lonzo?
What's that?
When they're first born and you put them in your forearm and you're looking at them and you're dreaming for them, but you're saying you're going to do great things. I can just see it from this first moment, this first grab, this first hold, and all the love as a father you have, especially your firstborn,
right?
And your daughter, and then when you see them walk that stage and you hear her name called out, everything just look. I turned to mush. I thank my mother and my father. I said, "There you go. The dream has been fulfilled."
Yeah, Doc, that whole
And that's a
thing, man,
blessing.
that's that is something, dude, that if you haven't experienced your kid graduating or doing something fantastic, it's it's really a serious emotional experience. I don't give a damn how gangster you supposed to be.
Yeah, it'll throw you.
It'll throw you off,
It'll
okay?
throw you. It doesn't throw you off. You need to get checked.
You need to get your
You
therapy
need to
checked.
be
Yeah,
checked.
yeah. Cause
You need to
boy,
get something checked.
I don't know how people do it. I don't know how folks have kids and don't participate in their lives, man. Some
That's
people,
Mm.
some people do it because nobody was there for them. Break the cycle, man. Break the cycle, dude. Let that go. And
do something different.
you know,
Participate.
I never grew up
How
with
about that?
I didn't grow up with grandparents. I never had my grandmother had a stroke when I was like 9. Both that was on my
Hmm.
mom's side. I never met my granddaddy on my dad's or my mom's side, and so I never had the granddaddy experience. But that don't mean I ain't gonna be one.
Well,
I don't have it. I don't have it.
I had the granddaddy, grandmommies, two granddaddies, and I just celebrated my mother's 95th birthday and my son's birthday yesterday,
Wow, your
which
mama
was
Gemini?
like
Oh man, you
my
in good
mom was
company.
a look, and my brother's a Gemini. I am squozed.
My mom's a Gemini. My sister's a Gemini. My grandson's a Gemini. My oldest daughter's a Gemini. We everywhere, boy. We run shit around here.
It's just way too much for me.
Yep.
Lone Sagittarian. What can I say?
Gemini's all over. I got one
Gem-
Gemini over here and was raised by a Gemini. Same
eh,
exact birthday, May 31st.
wow,
I was about to bring that up there, Queen, for sure. But the one thing I had to say for my mom, and when my sister broke down and was telling her about my daughter, and I'm trying to first of all tell my sister, "Can I do this? This is my job." No, your granddaughter just graduated from law school, Ma. And I'm like, "Stop! You're gonna make me cry." My sister won't admit to it, but that did happen. But it's such a that's what I said. If you don't have any emotion about that or the passing of torches, I mean, some people say you get that way at a funeral. I really don't. I kind of celebrate life. Funerals, I try to say we need to have a party at a funeral because to make 95 and her mother made 91, it's just way out of control.
man.
Way out of control.
That 95, dude. We hope to all be around here that long, and if you got any kind of
Mm-hmm.
quality of life, that's even better. That's like 35, 30 years for me, Doc. 30 years. That'd be
Dude.
2050, 2052.
Well,
Talk
we'll
about
see
what
as
we
long
did
as
back in
food is.
2022, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Twenty
That'll be a lot to talk about.
man.
I got one for you.
Go for
Now,
it.
Lonzo, you've been around long enough. Did you ever think in the 70s going into the 80s, the year 2000, we would still be here like this?
What in life, living?
As life.
Oh yeah.
I'm a science fiction, fanatic.
Okay.
So, I mean, besides Terminator and being wiped out in 1997 of August, I remember that. That was like crazy when people were losing their mind thinking that was going to be Judgment Day.
Right.
The year 2000, I just remember watching A Space Odyssey 2001 and saying, we're never going to see that. This is so crazy. And for us to now be at 2022, I can't wait to see 2030, 2040, if I'm blessed, if I'm so blessed.
Yeah, Doc. I ain't mad at you. I think the thing that probably got me the most with technology, aside from the cell phone, was the ability to answer my phone from my watch. That's some Dick Tracy shit right there.
Oh, yeah, Dick Tracy right there.
My
I
partner,
have, dude,
one of my partners had he was in the studio working. I never really experienced a watch, a smartwatch before. And he was setting the studio up. He had his phone on the table. He called his girl. His girl called him, and he pushed the button and started talking like Dick Tracy. I had to go buy me a watch that day. Oh, hell yeah. I got the hell out of it.
I'm going to mess you up. I have a Dick Tracy watch that actually works as a phone and a radio.
What?
A Dick Tracy watch phone.
Wow.
I have one. I
How
have
did
one
you
because
how did you get it? Or you
Well,
can tell us.
I was at some event. I cannot recall. I think it might have been a MTV Video Music Award event, and they give you one of them goodie bags, and it
Right.
was in that bag.
Mm.
It was in that bag. The Dick Tracy radio. It was called a two-way radio, wristwatch, and phone.
Okay.
And I could call my phone company up, and they could have wired it to the wristwatch.
That's great.
And I always thought it was the coolest thing.
That's crazy, Doc.
Just like when we watched Star Trek and we
Right.
saw them pull out the communicators, the flip phones, and then when flip phones came out, we all went crazy for them.
Man, come on, dude. Come on.
Everybody thought we were on Enterprise.
Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So they could now redo Dick Tracy. You think they could do the movie now, Dick Tracy,
be easy.
with all technology? Yeah.
Everything is
For
easier.
who? But as who?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything easy.
Take this
Well,
right
Warren Beatty played Dick Tracy in the movie with Madonna.
Right.
He was good.
Right.
He had to wear this watch. I don't know if it worked as the movie prop, but they used that. They talked it up.
Well, you know what, folks? Here's the crazy part. With all this technology, we still got people shooting kids.
And with all this technology, we still
Crazy.
can't control the gun violence in the United States.
With
It's so out of
all-
control. I mean, you start, Alonzo, and I'll pick up, please.
I just think it's fucking crime that the people that run this country that supposed to look out for us are so in the pockets of the NRA. They won't do anything to curtail, slow down, detour, rectify any of the adjectives you want to apply to this right here. The use of AR-15s. AR-15s are definitely a military weapon. It's not used for hunting. Anybody say it is a goddamn lie. They just want to shoot because they're fun to shoot. And anybody that knows how those guns affect flesh, whether it be human flesh or animal flesh, know it's designed to explode upon impact, which means you ain't got much to work with as far as eating, but it tears your body up. And to know that multiple mass murders have been committed using the same weapon, and the Congress, all they do is thoughts and prayers. Let a son bitch run up in Congress to see what happens. I'm gonna give you thoughts and prayers. Let somebody up in Congress. Let somebody run up in Congress or the
Here's my
Senate.
thought, and I hope you were praying.
Okay, well, this is my when somebody let somebody run up in Congress can see what happened. Check this out. This is a true story. Back in the 60s, I think it was 67, 68, Ronald Reagan was hosting an event for some teenagers, so some high school, some elementary school students on the grass of out front of the Sacramento Capitol. And the Black Panthers walked up there with a bunch of guns. But back then, in the 60s, prior to the 60s, in California, you could carry a shotgun or a rifle in your car.
Yes.
You could carry a shotgun.
You could open carry.
You could open carry a rifle or a shotgun.
It couldn't be concealed. It couldn't be concealed.
You couldn't consider it, but you could have an open carry shotgun or a rifle, and they knew their laws. And they marched their ass. The Black Panthers walked their ass up on Ronald Reagan, holding some kind of little event for some junior high school students. Scared the shit out of them that day. That day, look it up. You think I'm lying? That day,
Look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
They held an emergency meeting for the state senate and changed the gun laws that day.
That
Why?
day.
Because they felt their asses was in jeopardy, and black folks knew their gun laws, and they couldn't stop them, but they damn sure made them do some thinking. And I hate to say it, until they feel the pain of what people are feeling, they ain't gonna do nothing. They got the money.
Absolutely.
Until they feel the pain. I don't want nobody to get shot. Trust me. God knows that's the last thing I'm saying. But I'm just saying, until they understand the fear of having somebody standing over you with a gun and that you don't know if you're gonna be the target or not, you'll never understand what these kids had to go through. I mean, and before, I'm gonna let you speak, but I gotta say this part right here.
Take your time, please.
I heard something today that just made me just think about this from another perspective. Parents lost kids, kids lost lives, but the police that was on the scene, the firemen that was on the scene, to see these young kids' bodies mangled after these bullets were shot into their bodies. These little young bodies, little kids playing, having a good time, doing whatever kids do. And some asshole thought it was a good idea to come to a elementary school and just start killing kids, man. And we hadn't buried all the people that they killed 2 weeks ago in New York. They still burying them people.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
Buffalo, we still got people has to be buried in Buffalo. We still reeling from that situation where another asshole drove up 100 miles or 4 hours to Buffalo to a grocery store predominantly patronized by black people, old black people. And I saw the video. Somebody got me a copy of the video because they know I do these shows. And I swear, from the video angle, it looked like a video game. I thought it was a video game at first.
Mm-hmm.
He's driving and talking about. He got a GoPro on or something the whole time. He's driving. He parks the car and you see people and start laying them down. You see them just start dropping. And I thought it was a video game at first. That shit looks. We said, no, dude, this is the video from Homeboy after he shot these people. And he's Richard, yes. And he's going to court and pled not guilty. That's a bad son bitch right there, boy. He pled not guilty.
Not guilty.
He pled not guilty.
And recorded it. Wow.
Let me jump on that. Because when that event was taking place, I was coming back to New York, and that's all that was on the news, driving back from Kansas City to New York, and listening to the conservative point of view that they said, oh, now the left is going to blame this on us, and the libs are going to come after us. And nobody had any remorse for the people who were killed. This white supremacist gunman at 18 years of age, because he's chronologically a man, but he's still a punk and a young coward. He walked in there and he told the white guy, oh no, I'm sorry, not you, and shot the black people. And I said to myself, wow, this is where we are. And I said, we're really here. The last time something of that magnitude happened, the white guy walked into the church and they brought him in and they prayed, and he pulled out the guns and he gunned people down while they were praying. So what does that say for this Judeo-Christian system in the United States? It says it's false. So when this other disturbed young man at 18 years of age who can't buy a drink, he can't go into a bar and pull out his wallet, show his license, and buy a drink. Not only is he so bombastic to shoot his paternal grandmother, take her car, wreck it, get out, cowardly run to the school, and you shoot 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, and their teachers. Where in your mental state does that come from? Now the police are being criticized for people saying, go in there, run in there, run in there. This man has an AR-15. And some of those police officers knew that. They are not going to run up on an AR-15 with the weapons they had.
Right.
Police officers also want to go home at the end of the day. They don't want confrontation.
They don't get a hero pay.
There's no hero pay.
They don't hero pay.
They don't even get a hero sandwich.
Okay.
So they're not gonna run in there. They're not gonna do it.
So the choice becomes, do I go in here and save somebody else's kids or not go home to mine? Think about that for a minute.
Right.
Do I join the news report?
Right. Do I become
as a
part
casualty?
of his, do I become part of this body count, or let him do whatever he's gonna do and hopefully he run out of bullets and we'll catch him in between the time he has to reload.
So what's so interesting is you brought up the cowardness of the Republican Congress in the Senate. The cowardness of those people who are Republicans in the Senate won't even pass background check reform to protect people, children, adults, young adults, teachers, and people like Ted Cruz, Mitch McConnell, and some of those other sycophants. The only way they wanted to storm the Capitol is when it was January 6th and they felt they could stop an election. So here we are in our own dynamic, ladies and gentlemen. What to do? Because we don't want to sit there and say, let's promote violence. But I don't understand all the people of color who are shooting each other down in the street just to shoot each other down. And now we're talking about mass shootings of babies. And this isn't the first one.
No, it's not.
The first one happened in Connecticut. And I'm listening to the reports from those survivors, and they're not really survivors. Now all these people, the parents, the faculty, the other children, are living with PTSD. Because that's not normal. Any of those kids that were in that school building who had to jump out of a window and all hell, that's burnt in their memory.
People don't understand the power of PTSD. Post-traumatic stress syndrome. I'm a victim. I suffer from PTSD, not from a shooting, from a vehicular. I literally have vehicular PTSD. Why? Because I was involved in a fatal car wreck. Somebody was in the car with me that died. I wasn't my fault. Somebody hit me. They were ejected from the car and they died. And dude, it's not a time I get in my car. I don't watch, look, peep, extra cautious. It's hard for me to ride in anybody's car, especially in the front seat, because usually the passengers are one that gets fucked up. So I realized that when I ride Uber, if I'm in the back, even if the driver is not is pretty an aggressive driver, I can tolerate a lot more from the back seat as opposed to the front seat. So this is a personal issue of mine. It's real hard for me to ride with people. I drive anywhere I go. I'm usually driving, and I was driving tonight at the accident, but I still trust my driving more so than anybody else. I know that may sound crazy to some of y'all, but this is this is how PTSD affects people.
Well, let's go to Bernadette for a second, because I want to know her feelings based on, as being a woman, raising a child, and hearing something like that. Because to me, when I heard this thing that just happened, it froze me. I couldn't move. And I was like, am I hearing, is this like for real? And when they were like, oh, it was 10 kids, 12 kids, 15 kids. Then it was 19 kids. And I'm like, and 2 adults. And I said, where are we? Where are we? So Bernadette, what are your thoughts on these last 2 mass shootings that just happened with this AR-15?
Well, first of all, I think I was in the same town for the second shooting after Columbine. There was a shooting in Pearl, Mississippi, and that was before I was a mom, before I had a child. But I was at home off work, and you heard a bunch of children running at my apartment complex back, home to the doors and stuff like that. And it was because, and very few people know about this, about the shooting that was in Pearl, Mississippi. You can look it up. It was, but you can, that day I can remember it, not directly a part of it. I wasn't substituting, but I started substituting at that school, to hear the chaos in the middle of a day. Cause I just was like, oh wow, the kids are home. I had no kids. So I was like, why are they at home? And when I found out why those children were home, all of a sudden it shook me. Pearl, Mississippi. I forgot the year that it was, but it had to be like between 97 and 2000. It had to be like around that time. So that town, it moved on, but it's still, a part of what we are. And then for me, it's weird to say that I'm glad my child is older, but those students at Texas look like some students that I've had. I had a Hispanic classroom that I worked with and things like that. And the parents remind me of my children. And for me as a former substitute teacher, I hate to say that I'm kind of like not rushing to go back into the classroom because you just don't know what what is going to happen in these schools. Because I promise you, I was thinking about relocating to Texas for some opportunities with AmeriCorps. But then I'm thinking, I'm like, I feel bad to think to have that option because that's an everyday job and not a substitute teacher's job for you. And I used to work with elementary children. We've done drills, and see, it's kind of eerie to do a drill in a school in a classroom where you turn off the lights, you tell the kids where to hide, and you have to hide behind the door and actually do the drill of intruder alert. It's not like any other drills that you have in a school. All the tornado drills, you get tired, get tired, and everything. But the intruder drill that you have to do with your students, you are stuck in that moment thinking with those children. I hope this never happens to us. I hope this never goes down where I had to decide at the, both the door, be at the door, both in the door and checking the hallway, hiding so that we're not in sight, hiding so that I'm not in sight. And if somebody goes by, they'll disregard our door because our door is closed and the lights are turned off. Those drills, Dre and Alonzo, those are, I'm getting a little emotional about them. They're hard to even do. The kids, they may play around and goof around on any other drill, but those drills, unfortunately, we have to do those now. Everybody gets up kind of, okay, let me shake this off because we know why we're having these drills and we are glad it's just a drill. And that's me with babies having to do those drills that have to get in a very serious state of mind for a little while to reenact a drill like that. And so as a mom and as a teacher, a substitute teacher, I've been too close from it, but not that close. And my heart goes out to those families. And like I said, to the teachers too, because like I said, life changed drastically where school said, but not enough. It hasn't changed enough to, everybody's touched by it in some type of way. My child is aged out with that. But like I said, I've had students that I've had to, that we've had scary moments and things like that. And like I said, to have a drill like that, it's necessary to have a drill like that. It's necessary to have security on the premises and things like that. And it's like I said, I've been at home in the town where there was a shooting, and been at home when the children had to come home in the middle of their day because of that happening in Pearl High School too. It's not like like I said, I think it was the one after Columbine. So yeah, I got a lot of mixed feelings about that. I think the Texas governor, I think he compared the gun violence and the gun control. How do y'all feel about this compared to Texas to Chicago? He actually talked about how Chicago needs gun control because they have more things going on with gun violence there in Chicago. I don't know if y'all heard that. And I was like, the audacity.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting
Chicago.
about you bringing that up is that how he can easily and casually make these broad statements, but then when when Beto O'Rourke, who's running for governor of Texas as a Democrat, starts to speak with him at a press conference, they want to shout him down and tell him, "Oh, you're trying to politicize this. This is another dude. You're the one who made it an open carry, and no one has to get a permit or a license to have a gun in Texas. You can just walk around with a gun, and hey, you decide it's time to pop somebody off. Pop, pop. That's what you do." As I said, this was an 18-year-old young coward of a man who was very disturbed. For whatever reasons, they want to use the bullying factor in his school. So if you were such a tough guy, why didn't you go to the high school and get to the people who were bullying you? Why did you go to these little kids like in Newtown, Connecticut? I mean, the same thing, that young man shot his mother dead and then went to the school and you shot up the little kids. What did these little kids do to you? These are little kids. Little kids.
As I sit here and think about fire drills, earthquake drills, I even at one time, and I was going young, we had bomb drills. we had
Mhm.
the H bombs. You had to get on your desk in case they drop the H bomb. And fire drill, we
And
love.
put your head between your legs.
Yeah, put your head between
which
your
made
legs.
no sense at all.
Right.
You're gonna be under a wooden desk.
All your shit's gonna be rotisserie chicken.
You go under a wooden desk.
They gonna find your
If
little
the bomb
ass.
hits, it's gonna catch the desk on fire.
Yeah,
and you stuck there.
You sitting under
This is
kindling.
your what?
You sitting under kindling. Okay, and your little ass gonna be rotisserie chicken after the first wave.
That kind of crazy stuff.
I remember, like Bernadette said, we should love fire drills because we go outside and park in the parking lot or in the football field. And
yeah, you go stand in line,
joke around. But here it is.
Hang out.
In 20, you're more likely to need the information that you get from a intruder shooting than you would from a fire drill and damn sure earthquake. Okay, I can't ever recall being in school and having an earthquake. Most earthquakes happened in the morning before we went to school, or in the evening time. I can't recall ever being in school. Maybe it was, but I can't recall being at school and having an earthquake. Okay, and I live in California all my life.
I've been in 3 earthquakes in California in my life.
Okay,
3, and one I was sitting in the pool, and we saw the water ripple, and then we looked up at the building, and the building was swaying. It was called the Mondrian at that time. I don't know what they call that now. But we were sitting there, we're like, yo, what's up with the building? And we thought we were just drunk. We're like, no,
he was in a pool.
We were in a pool, and the water, because the water absorbed the shock, but the water moved, it bubbled. It just started like moving, like, what the hell is this?
Right.
So, go ahead, Lonzo, I'm sorry.
I'm looking in the chat room here, and the STEM radio says gun control is not the solution because criminals don't obey the law. Citizens suffer in that case. Let me say something for a second here. And that is true because usually when they do laws, they overdo stuff. It's 1 minute you have no regulation, then it's too much regulation. There's never a real happy medium. But I can say, and if anybody different, let me know. I got a few guns around here. I have very few people I know that have guns have had to use them on intruders in their house. Okay, very few people. I know one guy that was in Big Bear, and somebody broke to the house in Big Bear, and he had a gun, but he never got a chance to get to it. His wife ended up hitting the guy over the head with something because he was choking him. But the gun was not an answer. Plus, the way you have to store your gun in your house, you got to lock it up, put it in a safe. If somebody really get after your ass, probably can't get to your gun. He got his shit already in his hand.
You can't unlock it.
You scared?
You can't negotiate. Hold on, man.
Hold on. Time out.
Second.
So you got your gun got to be in a safe.
You got to have a Kojo and King.
You know what I'm saying? You got either it got to be in a safe. You got to be locked up. Keep kids away from it because kids like playing with guns. And by the time you actually get to your gun, unless you have one of them rigs like my man Bruce Willis had in Death Wish, at the end of the Death Wish, he had this special drawer. He kicked something and the shotgun just jumped up in his hand. Okay, unless you got that right there, your gun really ain't no good. If somebody break into your house, if they get a head start and get in your house and stand over you and you and your wife in the middle of the night, you ain't got time to say, hold on, let me get my gun. That ain't gonna work. You can't sneak away, go get your gun while he killing your family. Okay? I mean, so even to have a gun in your house, in most cases, is first of all, it's almost futile. Okay. Second of all, if you store it the proper way, unless you hear this cat coming in, and more people are actually kill more family members with guns because they thought they was breaking into the house or something like that. The kids are snuck out, bam, you shot your son and shot your daughter. Oh, that's happened quite a few times because your kid's supposed to be asleep. You assume it's a burglar. Next thing you know, you done killed your daughter. Okay, she out there breaking off the pool boy in the back of his truck. She done snuck in now. Now you're gonna shoot her. So let me see what he says. Is my man Stem Radio says, "Oh yeah, to two guns. I have bought both for intruders, but I'm hoping to God I never have to use them." And yeah, and that's always that's guns are like insurance. Everybody got to have it, but you don't want to use that shit. Could you imagine shooting at somebody, missing them, and hitting somebody else?
Happens
You
all
don't
the
get a
time.
pass for that. You don't get a pass for that.
In New York, in the Bronx, in New York, 18-year-old was on driving a moped. The 15-year-old was shooting at a 13-year-old, shot the 11-year-old girl in the gut and killed her.
You don't get a
And
pass.
she died in the hospital.
That just happened today. We lost a 12-year-old that got shot today here in Jackson, Mississippi, off of Ventura Street, and a 16-year-old was shot in the shoulder. Just today. So while the Texas news was fresh, and like I said, I had guessed that Pearl shooting was in 1997. And the funny thing is, y'all, the guy's name is Luke Woodham, and when you hear that name, it sounds like somebody talking about Freddy Krueger. Everybody gets this empty feeling in their stomach. Just the name, it's like just to talk about the name, and that his name is like, you get a pit in your stomach talking about him. It's the same as somebody talking about Freddy Krueger in the movies, in our town, in the area, to talk about him. Yeah, 1997. I knew it was after I graduated from high school and before I became mom that happened in the middle of school, in the middle of the day. Look it up. The principal had a gun, so I might look it up more. I think he had a gun and he stopped the school shooter. So I might revisit that. That's down here in Mississippi.
All right,
the principal had a gun on the premises.
Let me give a shout out to my chat room right quick. I got my boy, the STEM Radio, Lady Like in the house, Martin Cozy. What's up with you folks? Gary's Garage, much love to your people. Montana Max, Robert Lee Johnson, sound like he ought to be a Confederate general.
You wrong for that.
Huh?
You wrong for that one.
Ray R.
I said you wrong for that one.
I know. I'm just fucking with him because I can. Yeah, Ry R is in the house. Martin Cozy, my girl Silky D, Lady Like Productions, Gary's Garage, the STEM Radio, and I thank all y'all for chiming in and participating in the chat room. It gives us something to feed off of, and to show that people are checking out these messages that we're dropping. It's just I think it's really interesting that no matter what happens.
Well, let me pose a question to the chat room.
Go ahead.
And the folks listening. If you don't feel that gun laws or gun reform or some kind of gun control shouldn't take place, then what can we do? Or do we just give up and say, well, it's open season on everybody? What do you think we should do? As a society, as a nation, as a community, as human beings, is this it? Is this the end of it all for us? Because there's what they say, there's 10 guns to every person in the United States. 10 guns. The number one cause of death used to be auto accidents of teens. Now it's guns.
I think that people in some of these rural states and areas need to really evaluate their leadership, because understand how the government is set up. Mm-hmm. You got people like Mitch McConnell. He's from Kentucky. Kentucky is one of the poorest states in the union. Broke white people. Mm. But for whatever reason,
you're not saying Barack. You're not saying Barack.
Baroque.
You're saying Baroque.
Baroque white people. Okay, and these folks keep putting this guy back in office. Okay, now he throws them enough of a bone for his district to stay in office for damn near 25, 30 years. I don't know how long he's been. He's been there for quite some time.
He's been there. He was there before Moses came down the mountain.
Okay,
that's way too long.
Now
way too long.
You have senators that's been in office for so long, they still have the mindset from the 60s. Okay, I mean they were probably born in the 30s, because all these guys are in their 70s and 80s. Okay, so they're probably born in the 40s. They had to fight. They had to. They definitely have some racial issues that they were brought up on. They had to try to either cover up or mask to stay in office this long. But deep down in their heart, they don't give a damn. Okay, but they know what to say. They've been taught, been schooled, and groomed on what to say long enough to keep people electing them.
But that's why we need term limits.
We need term limits. Office, okay,
on whether it be federal offices, whether it be state offices,
you need
whether it be
term
local
limits.
offices.
You need term
because
limits.
The community has changed. The landscape has changed. I mean, you don't use the same fertilizer on your grass you used 40 years ago. You don't use the same gas in your car that you used 40 years ago. So why are these people keeping us under their thumb, under their boot? And their answer to everything is, oh, that's not going to solve anything.
Well, wrinkled up.
If you run up into the Senate and you pull out your AR-15 and point it at those Republicans, I bet you they'll change every gun law
is going to be changed.
Everything.
You know, if
and no one is saying to do that. That's not the answer. The thing is, we have to put up term limits and get rid of some of this dead weight. And I'll call it what it is, dead weight, and some of that new dead weight that's there with term limits. Because if you eliminate the forever politician, things will change. And it has to happen also in the Supreme Court. Some of them folks need to be gone. They just need to be gone.
Well, you know,
give them term limits.
We have a part of the Constitution is they gave I guess to keep them impartial, so they don't have to worry about maintaining their office, or the integrity of their office will not be compromised based on elections. So that's why they gave the Supreme Court judges lifetime appointments. Okay, but again, you got folks.
But they weren't living when they made that up. Those people were dying at 30 and 40 years old. Right. Now, because of changes in societal health conditioning, they're living to 70, 80, going to some of them. No, I'm sorry. You can be advisors to the court, but you can't sit on the court.
Well, you know,
and I really think they need to go in now, and we need to put more judges on the court, and it should be a balanced court.
I think they ought to have an age limit.
All one way or all another way.
They need to have an age limit. Somebody over 70 years old cannot serve on, because 70, 75, you need to get up out of there. 70, I think 70 is almost too old to be sitting.
Go a little lower. 70.
Huh?
Younger.
What, 70?
Go lower than 70. 70 sounds.
Let's be honest. 70 today is like 50s 10 years ago.
Right.
I'm talking about as far as health. But they should they should go through what you call a vigorous mental
right.
Challenge
and physical.
Every 5 to 10 years. And physical.
And
if their health and their cognitive judgment is waning, you have to step down. That's it. Every 3 years,
right.
You must be tested. You must pass. You must pass, and you have to pass your physicals. If that doesn't happen, you gotta go.
And also the fact that you can come into the Senate or the Congress, House or the Senate, and be broke and leave a multimillionaire. That's got to be questionable. That's got to be questioned. How is it that you making $150,000 a year, but you walk out hundreds of millions of dollars in profit after serving these terms?
Right.
That's because you have exposure to insider trading. There is no consequences for anything that they do. They've been caught trading or doing insider trading on numerous accounts, and it goes unscathed. So there's nobody giving anybody the consequences. We looking up today. You got people getting subpoenas from various courts, and they're ignoring them. How dare you? But you will give me if I don't come to court, you want to give me 10 days, get somebody 10 days in jail for not coming to court. But you'll ignore Supreme Court subpoena.
The first thing you have to do, Lonzo, is you have to remove the money from the election system. Once you eliminate that, then there's no dark money. There should be an election fund. You get your fund, and when you're going to um, buy your commercials, it goes free because you've passed certain rigors. So then you can't outbuy your opponent, and everything becomes equal. It's automatically there. That makes it easier to vote, easier to elect people and representatives that you wish in your districts, and then you eliminate gerrymandering. So you get rid of some of these politicians and people who are sitting here just being evil. And I think one of the survivors, family members from Newtown, Connecticut, said that Ted Cruz is just evil.
He's the evil
And
dude.
some of those senators, they're just evil people.
They don't give a damn about their people.
Mitch McConnell is just an. So the thing is, if you're elected, to the House as a representative or to the Senate, you cannot do business. Once you leave there, it should be like a 5-year position. Once your time is over and you lose for 5 years, you can't manipulate what you know is going on in the government. You can't play the stock market. You can't do things with
a lobby. You can't be a lobbyist.
You can't, and it eliminates lobbying.
Right.
If you get rid of lobbying,
get out of there. All the way out.
It's all total representation.
It's amazing that people can be. They have a way of rebranding certain things that would get the average person thrown into jail, because lobbying is only legalized bribery. Okay,
but they did create laws that you can't lobby, but then they turned around and readjusted them so that you could.
Right.
Oh, you can't lobby in the Capitol, but you can lobby outside the Capitol. What's the difference?
You know why? Because literally, lobbyists would be in the lobby. That's what they call. That's why they call them lobbies. They would be in the lobby, Congress, waiting on them, like hookers.
I met a lobbyist who's like, I'm not that kind of lobbyist. Yeah.
Huh? They would be sitting outside in the lobby, waiting on.
I said I met a lobbyist, and he explained.
Yeah, I met. I know one for the aerospace. But you know, the game has changed a little bit now, but still, that was the actual. That's how they got the name of lobbyists, because they would actually sit in the lobby and wait for the various politicians to come out and start sweating them about different issues that they represent. And then you wonder why.
Lonzo, did you say something about hookers?
I said they remind me of hookers waiting on the fleet.
Sitting in the lobby, yeah.
That's how back in the day at the Pike. If you don't know about the Pike was a place we partied at back in the day as kids, and the fleet would come into Long Beach, and the Pike was in Long Beach, and the area around the Pike would get flooded with hookers because they knew the guys had money and they had needs to be fed.
And speaking of that, big up to everybody in New York who's in the service, whether you're Marine, Navy, Coast Guard, Merchant Marine. For Fleet Week here in New York. Big shout out to all those folks out there. Please be safe. Please be careful. COVID is still alive. And also there's a new monkey hustle, aka monkeypox. So everybody be a little careful out there. It's Memorial Day weekend. Understand what that's for. And it's a shame. We have to not only thank our servicemen for their service and their duty, but now we have to memorialize these folks that were just taken out for no reason. Look, what does the chat room say about my question? If you don't want gun regulations, what do they suggest that we should do?
Let me see here.
Did they answer?
What do they say in the chat room?
Let me see here.
No guns in the community. Place with laser guns, ladylike. That money invested in guns can eliminate homelessness. And let's see. STEM Radio said, personally, I believe in the Habanarbi law, where it's an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. And let's see. And then we had a politician's answer. I agree, because only rich politicians wind up getting and that's where it gets ugly. So
And that's why they don't
that
like
was
people like KOC. Is it KOC?
AOC,
AOC.
AOC,
AOC, because
Andrea Ocasio-Cortez.
I think she kind of cute myself, but she don't take no.
Yeah, she's about to get married. She don't got a ring put on her finger.
I ain't mad. They got to picture her
I
doing
ain't
some
mad
shit
at that.
too. But she's a real person. She speaks her mind,
I love
and
her.
because she is not of their persuasion, they don't like the fact that she talks to them like they need to be talked to. She checks their asses on a regular basis. Okay, and it's
But
just
she needs to do one thing.
what's that?
You're a politician. Understand the politics of certain decisions that you make. So, look, I'm not here trying to just protect the president and the vice president, but understand certain politics. People just want to blame Biden. Why can't he do this? Why can't he? Because he's the president, but he's restricted by legal laws. It has to pass Congress. That's why you elect your legislators. That's why you elect your senators and elect people that are going to do what you request them to do. That's what we need to do. And I'm not just talking about the big elections. I'm talking about every election. All politics is
Those
local.
are the ones that count.
All of it. If you don't put the right people in place, whether it be your school board, whether it be local legislators, whether it be local politicians, you're going to have problems when they get to the feds. It's just what it is.
All right.
You got to stay on top of fair representation too, because it's not fair. And we let that slide by, and we redistrict.
Well, we have the well. Stop a minute. Hold on for a minute. We have the illusion of a democracy. Okay. Anytime. This is my theory when it comes to politicians and billionaires contributing to campaigns. Politicians seek money from the billionaires. The billionaires give them the money to finance their campaigns. Then once they get into office, they give them a tax break that could probably offset the money they spent. They already got probably a tax deduction for giving the money in the first place. Then they get a tax break to give them more money to be able to give to them so that it won't affect their bottom line. So now you got a vicious circle. You got people that's walking into office in debt already. Here we are in 2022, and the income to debt ratio versus, not ratio, but income inequality between rich and the poor is ridiculous. Ain't no reason in the world Elon Musk and people get on me, oh, Elon Musk has got all this money, but damn it, that's because all the money. And one thing about money, if one person got some, somebody else ain't gonna have none. Okay?
Yeah,
it ain't like air.
The dynamic.
It ain't like air. Okay, if I'm breathing, everybody can breathe. But when it comes to money, if one person or 500 people got more money, 1% of the country got more money than 99% of the country, that's why we got homelessness. Okay,
that's a major problem.
Used to be a time.
Let me hold on. Let me also congratulate. Go ahead, finish.
Let me finish this right here. Used to be a time before Reagan, the corporations were taxed at 90% after a certain amount of profit, which gave them incentives to put money back into the company. But once they moved the companies overseas and they dropped the corporate tax rate to 15%, there was no incentive to give people money. So now you got people giving themselves money, buying back their stock, sending everything overseas to get made a lot cheaper than shipping it over here. And then at some point in time, when did they realize if we ain't got no money, we can't buy shit?
That's why they gave you this false illusion of what inflation is. There's no real inflation. This is a false rumor.
Right.
Because how does the same cost of food on the shelf go up before the delivery shows up? How do you raise prices of the gas that's already in the tank at the bottom of the gas station? Because you're manipulating the economics of this country.
Well,
but if you look at hold on real quick. If you look at what Jeff Bezos' wife did, he's given away $112 billion to multiple organizations, nonprofits, women's groups, minority women, women companies out there. And guess what? It's like she gets the money right back because she writes off all that money that she just gave away.
Now, also, you got this issue right here. Okay. And I just lost my train of thought just that damn fast. Straight messing with you.
Sorry about that.
Damn it. I lost my train of thought. Damn it.
Well, let me continue.
Go ahead.
Me continue. So, when you have that amount of money running around in your nation, and you got the 1% not affected by inflation, but they're going, oh, we're so sorry. When you put the big box stores in your communities, and you put the big gas stations and all those big things out of convenience, you wiped out the local merchant. But if you shop locally and give them the money and they grow locally, your inflation will go down because they have no choice but to bring
right.
Here we go.
You got it, Lonzo?
I got my thought back. What we're experiencing right now is, folks, is a direct hit on the Democratic Party. Why do I say that? Is because they want to make Biden look as bad as possible for the midterms. People don't understand Biden ain't got shit to do with the gas prices. The people that want Biden out of office, want Kamala Harris, or who want control of the House and the Senate, they're voting Republican. So they want Biden and everybody on their team as bad as possible. Because right now it's predicted that we may lose the House and the Senate, which is going to be a bad thing for everybody, which is going to make Biden a lame duck president for the rest of his term, which means he ain't going to get shit done, which means when it come time for 2024, he out of there. Okay? Bottom line, he ain't going to get nothing done. They're going to blame everything on him. Oh, we had inflation, we had this. But bottom line is the people that they put pressure on us, and we don't look at the big people. We don't look at the people that actually make these rules and raise these prices. We don't look at them. We look at the president. Okay, we look at the president.
Right.
We blame him for everything. He ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay, I've come to the conclusion, and I've seen it happen before. Same thing happened when they wanted to get rid of Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, we ran out of gas. The embargo came in. We ran out of gas. We was in lines odd and even days because they had an embargo. They wanted to get rid of Jimmy Carter. All of a sudden, we got this gas embargo. Ain't nobody got no gas. We got odd and even days, and next thing he would go. Okay, anybody that made any sense, they get rid of their asses. Anyway, go ahead, Bernie. We got a few more minutes. We got to wrap up.
I want to say this. I'm very spiritual. I have spiritual friends, and people have always warned about civil war coming. Do you think that this is the civil war? It's not going to be like what we had before, but civil war in another way, covertly being done. Civil war. What you said also goes along with it. That civil war is happening, but in a unique way with economics and lack of gun control and all these things that are sideways assaults from both sides. That's what came to me before the show. That this is civil war.
Can I answer that real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, we are going to see a civil war like there's been no other, because when the haves take away from the have-nots, and then you try to persecute them, and then you try to annihilate them and destroy their existence, there's only one thing that changes that, and that's civil upheaval. And that's what it is. You have fear of a black planet, and the planet has always been black, but now they realize it, and they're doing everything they can do to scramble because they think money is going to matter. Not when this thing starts. It's going to get ugly so fast. Again, look at Buffalo, New York, look at Texas, and that's just the beginning. It's going to go out of control faster than you know. And the thing is, it's designed that way. It's designed that way.
Bernadette must have saw what I saw at the same time. Okay. All right, David.
Really? Yeah.
We've been having me and Dre had a conversation before the show. So that's probably why we went all heavy. Let's talk about Bernadette's feet for the last few minutes, okay?
Somebody asked me in the chat, could we lighten up and talk about Bernadette's feet?
Yeah. He said it's been an extremely deep show, a stimulating show, but because it's for a second, let's get lighten it up and talk about Bernadette's feet. Okay, Bernadette.
Look, it's raining too much outside, so my feet have not been out because our Mississippi mosquitoes are nothing to play with, and I don't have no. I don't have no. I got. So my feet are covered.
She's operating on red clay caution.
Okay.
So she's being cautious about the red clay. So that's
not going to happen. Mississippi mosquitoes.
It's amazing.
That's a whole show by itself.
We're gonna do a foot show just on the strength, Bernadette.
Oh my goodness!
OnlyFans.
Get you a pedicure, and you're gonna have.
I should get an OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Just put your feet up.
Feet show. Yeah, OnlyFans. Bernadette's getting OnlyFans. With her feet.
Yeah, folks. It's almost time. We actually went over time.
I did OnlyFans. I got sponsors. I got a West Coast sponsor and I got an East Coast sponsor for my OnlyFans for my feet.
I'm gonna sponsor the right foot.
The red clay show.
Yeah, folks. This is how we do it sometimes. Sometimes it's really nice to be able to have shows to talk about miscellaneous bullshit. But every once in a while, you gotta talk about some real shit. Yeah, Kanye and Kim and Kim Kardashian and Johnny Depp got all kind of problems going on. Kanye West wearing some goddamn RoboCop boots. Oh, that brother, something else. We got all kind
Don't get me started.
We got all kind of buffoonery and clownery going on, but we got some serious. That's also a major problem, and every once in a while, we need to have a conversation about something other than the buffoonery that they put out there to distract us. A lot of these things are just distractions.
Exactly.
The real subject. The real subject is we got problems in this country that other countries have their own problems, but it seems like we're becoming more and more of a third world country. And unlike third world countries, our people get to shoot each other and 10 to 15 at a time. And nobody wants to do anything about it because they've been paid by the NRA or whoever they've been paid by not to look up and just give thoughts and prayers.
And get upset over ice cream by Walmart. That was a distraction, please.
See, we didn't even get to the Walmart the Walmart.
I was gonna do the Juneteenth
ice cream.
Walmart ice cream.
Yeah, the scandal of Walmart ice cream.
I said what I said.
But before I go, folks, I got to say condolences to my boy once again, my boy Dusty Vision, who lost his father on
Dusty,
Tuesday.
we love you.
Nothing but love,
Dusty.
Stay strong for the family, Doc. Your old man prepared you for this right here, and you can handle it from here. It's gonna be hard, but you're gonna, do what you got to do. If you need,
we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. Don't worry about it. And we're not gonna send you any Juneteenth ice cream. Trust me.
All right, my man. Before we go, folks, the STEM Radio says I thoroughly enjoyed this convo tonight. I was just being funny. I love that, man. And that's what I love about our chat room. We got a sense of humor.
I'm gonna get OnlyFans out of it.
Look at you, see. I love no matter how serious it is. I'm gonna bring some levity to a conversation. That's just what I do. I don't give a damn. I can be at a funeral and have people laugh, and I do it all the time. I'm the one guy that would go to a funeral and tell a joke.
Lonzo?
Okay.
Lonzo?
Yes.
You're preaching now. You're extra preaching this week.
I'll do it. I'll do it in a minute.
I do it because you got to have a little giggle so that you can take what's being seriously thrown at you, and we can figure out and solve our problems. That's the one thing we want people to walk away with. Everything we're talking about, we can solve, but we have to come together and we have to do it together. Not separately, not you over there, me over there, Bernadette down there. It's we got to come together and say, we're not going to take this anymore, and we're going to get these folks out of these chairs and put our representation in there and solve our real problems, because they are solvable. That's
right,
the
folks.
thing.
That being said, we're going to end the show at 10 minutes after overtime. In the meantime, Bernadette, take care of your feet. Dre, I'll see you when I see you. In the meantime,
we'll
folks,
see you on the backside.
You got it, folks. Much love to everybody in the chat room. Thank y'all for timing in. Silky D, I see you, baby. Lady Like, Marlon, STEM Radio, everybody. Much love for tuning in. We're out of here till next time, folks. Peace.